Welcome back, everybody, to the path to LCS. And Cincinnati Fierce on the path to grabbing this dub as well if they keep up that amazing performance that we saw in game number 1. That being said, though, Maryville definitely not out of it just yet.
On the slightest. Again, it was a very rare circumstance where it felt like the composition actually had quite a bit to do with the downfall right there, waiting too long, not having any kind of engagement. I have these complaints about compositions, and I know there's ways to play them out to actually take games like this, but right there, I don't think it made it easier on themselves. I'm expecting to come back with a slightly more standard type composition and really make Fear test a little bit more. I did like the early game. I like some of the plays out of the bottom lane. I thought Zyko had some really nice moments in that game, and so we'll see if he continues to play or whether Shady ends up stepping in for this Maryville squad.
Yeah, we did kind of touch on the draft as well, right? How we felt like it was just a lot of damage focus coming out from Maryville here. No real life tanks, no real heavy CC. And we saw that they were punished accordingly, right? That allowed Trickster Dragoon to just get in there. Sure, Gwen's immune, but still, it allowed them to get in there constantly. There was no one really there to kind of peel for them. And then at the end of the game, right, Blaze is just like, hey, watch me, boy, and he just absolutely just decimates him, grabbing the pentakill, which is absolutely huge. And I mean, honestly, I won't lie, Cincinnati put a little bit of fear into me, man. Like, they definitely lived up to the name there. They were doing some great work, but it's not over till it's over, as we do wait to get into the draft of game 2. What do you want to see Maryville kind of change? I know we touched on it a little bit, but is there anything particular you want to see Maryville kind of change up for this next game?
The Lucian actually, I don't know if it was a Blaze diff, just being able to manage the Victor, but I don't think the Lucian did everything that they wanted it to inside the laning phase. So I think APA could be used a lot more effectively than what he had been. That wasn't a really great display of what I would expect them to do. So I would kind of want them to go away from that, have him on something that has a little bit more effect. Because it felt like the Lucian, normally you use it for, like, if you're going to push, and then you're going to attack, and you're going to do something. That game felt like it was a defense, where it's like, okay, you could push against Lucian, and then nothing happens, and that's your game plan, but I don't like that. So either, if you're going to use the Lucian, pick something that you can fight with it inside of the jungle to gain, like, neutral objective control, or what you can do is pick a different champion and just have him attack side lanes or focus on himself. Like, both very good options. He's got plenty of champions to choose from, and I want to see him get more involved, because it felt like that was the one player that really didn't have the same kind of impact that I would have expected him to in a game like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we feel like Cincinnati Fear needs to change anything? You know, it's like, it ain't broke, don't fix it? Or do they need to maybe expect that there's going to be some adaptability coming out here from Maryville and respond accordingly?
I don't think you can expect Dragoon to get as disgustingly fat as he did the second game in a row. Although, being on red side now, you do get these kind of counter options potentially for some of these matchups specifically. So whatever worked last game worked out really, really well. And once again, I talked about it. I thought that Trickster operates as the compass for a team like this, where he kind of guides them. And that game felt like it was very true. He had moments where he played for side lane pick, and outside of that, he was just determining when the proper time to go in was, and his team was following him to pretty solid plumb. In fact, were it not for that early 2v2 kill, had Sketch actually pulled a kill and bounced away and they got the 1-for-0, it feels like that would have been an incredibly Cincinnati favored game basically from start to finish. So I really like what they were able to bring out, and this is a team that I think came into the tournament and you had like AoE was ranked above them, and Ginger Turmeric was ranked above them, and Maryville was ranked above them in terms of like seedings and stuff. And I felt like they were mildly disrespected with that. Not that any of them are bad teams, just that they were coming back with a very solid roster. And I wonder if that's a little bit underneath them as well, with a little bit of fire as well.
Yeah, it seems to be a little bit of a running story that a lot of these teams get disrespected by the seeding algorithm. Yo, Unify, come on, man, what's going on here?
They weren't as slighted as some other teams definitely were. Like, other teams definitely had their complaints. 32 seed BK, they can complain all they want. But Cincinnati Fear was like, they were really close to being the roster that was basically third place last split, and they're running it back with a lot of players. And right there, I think they showed it on display. They're playing against a very good team in Maryville, and were able to take a win like that after going down 2,000 gold shows quite a bit, and every player contributed to that win in significant ways. Dragoon stepped up the most, in my opinion, but Trickster, like we said, had great engages. Blaze with a pentakill at the end of the game. And even Sketch and Plux, after having a rough start, really stepped into more of a back foot, sat there, collected what they needed to, got back into the game in terms of gold, and were able to have massive influences. And Plux specifically is somebody we really didn't talk about in that game, but at the last fight, he had an amazing transformation that kind of changed everything. It looked like maybe Maryville could turn it and push them out of their base for one last fight and keep themselves alive. But Plux ended up transforming, I think it was Niles or maybe it was like Odd Orange during the course of the fight. That really shifted things back into their favor and let them kind of run through, let Blaze get that pentakill.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it just, most people don't realize just the amount of tenacity that had to come out from Cincinnati Fear to get back into the game. It's like they got dealt a pretty short hand. They're like, you know, it was Potts diff at the start there. Like we called it out, right? It was healing Potts diff, dude. It's nothing else to be said. It's like those, I think it was single digit HP. It might have been double digit. I'm not sure. Point being, incredibly low. Zyko is barely able to escape. And like, that is like, you just sit there, your keyboard, you're like, wow, like I really this is out of all the parallel universes, I picked this one to be in. Like but yeah, no, it's like it's absolutely huge that they made it out of there. But that being said, goggles are coming on because we're going into the splash zone, baby, as the draft starts. So let's get right into it. Oh god, they don't want to stay on.
Can you see in those?
Sorta. Hold on, I gotta fix this real quick. You go ahead. You take care of the job. I gotta get.
All right, I got you, fam. Okay, so first off, we talk about the Darius getting banned out. MU is back on blue side. Zyko is still in there. You can go for any substitutes. This time they're getting the Gwen as well. I think that's a reasonable decision against Dragoon after the game we just had. You can see that the Gangplank and the Talia, again, the individual lane prowess coming out from Maryville, making sure to remove those champions as they come through. And now we get a last look potentially at what these what they want to make as adaptions for who they want to ban out and what kind of things they want to take off the board.
Oh yeah, definitely. And already, you know, yeah, I can't take myself seriously either with this. It's so hard to breathe. It's for the bit though. But yeah, Nico getting banned again though. They're taking it away from Appa. They were like, you don't get to play this, bro. Sorry, you got to go Lucian again or something.
Truly. They go back to Karma. And again, the flexibility is something that we talked about previously, but specifically, Zyko had a great game, and I think the laning phase was a lot easier for Azog to manage with that champion coming in. So I don't disagree with that decision in the slightest. The Lucian going over to Cincinnati Fear with the Nami as well to make sure Sketch and Flux don't like the fact that they got health pot dipped in that last game, and they're putting their foot down this time.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sketch is just going like, hey, Apple, let me show you how to play Lucian correctly, bro. Like, he's really doing it to him. And we do see the Jin being locked in, though, here, actually, this time around for Azog. So, really, going to 180 here from a more, like, fast mobile hyper carry to Azog. Oh, my God, I was going to say Sketch. To Azog here on the Jin.
Yeah, it's a situation where it feels like this was a decision with the Karma, where they now have a lane state against the Lucian Nami that they don't have to be in a losing scenario. They have enough kind of single target damage that they can deal with. They got enough range to deal with the waves that Lucian Nami can't ever really find a very slick way to find like just a pure push into them. Jin also on this patch was like absurdly strong at the beginning of the patch. Like he was one of the highest win rate ADCs and was disgustingly busted. I think over time it's maybe dulled a little bit, but he is still a strong ADC as of this patch with everything else that has come through. So that's pretty exciting to think about as the response to the Lucian Nami, whether they've prepared something like this. Also, they've gone more standard. They now both have engage and frontline with the Wukong coming in for either Niles or Oddhorns. I have to assume that it's Oddhorns grabbing this one up.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, it's like we said, it's what we wanted to see, right? And I believe, the Pantheon ban was actually supposed to be a kill ban. Fear taking that off the table. And once again, we're seeing more disrespect coming out from Fear, right? They're grabbing the Lilia for Trickster and being like, hey, yo, Maryville, let me show you how to play the champ.
Interesting, they banned the Zed. That's a... I'm not sure if that's another thing that might have gone wrong potentially from this side, but
us again?
I don't think it's prod. I think we're actually watching the draft. So once again, amateur and learning how to draft. The only thing they're worse at than drafting in like drafting tools, which is fair, drafting tools are really, really dumb sometimes, is making sure that they make sure that the lobby draft goes through properly as well. Sometimes that's really problematic. We have draft issues every once in a while, and this might be one of them coming through. Now, Trickster is a proficient Zed player. I don't think Blaze plays it as much, which is why I was confused a little bit. Oh, that is a real Zed ban. We're not getting hinted by Prod, and I'm getting flexed on by our producer instead. 2-0 for you guys, I will admit.
Oh my god. Yeah, that being said though, okay, the Victor being locked. Dude, okay, like we're seeing back-to-back champ steal in action. They're like, listen, let me show you how to play this champ. Like straight up Appa picking it up. They're like, you're gonna take away my Lucian. I'm taking your damn Victor and I don't care. We do see, however, the Camille being locked in. Actually, that is going to be a bit of a threat with that shrew damage coming out. I'm already kind of scared. I'm not going to lie. The Kale?
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Interesting. All right, see, I like this. So originally, our Pantheon pick was a Kale ban. So now that a Kale's on the screen, that's actually a Pantheon coming through. And that's actually something I'm pretty sure Niles has played before, specifically into Camille. And it does pretty well, specifically into the lane matchup that the Camille brings. So it is an individual shutout against Dragoon. I have complaints about this draft from Maryville because I don't like drafts without really consistent damage, which is why I'm like, okay, Kale fits that mold, right? Kale is your consistent damage even if it scales late in the game. But with the Pantheon, now you're relying on Victor doing that a lot more, so APA is kind of step up into that role himself, which I'm okay with. But that still is a little bit of lacking. I think Wukong picks that up a little bit, so maybe that's a bit of a salvage. But the other side, pretty standard draft across the board. Now they're without the tank, but they have at least the engage coming through from the Camille to work with. They've got the powerful bottom lane. They've got the pick potential from Blaze on this Ahri pick coming through. They've got a lot of things going for themselves, even though they don't have that true frontliner, I suspect.
Yeah, true, right? Sketch more like trying to just single out that one target. We'll have that passive shield, obviously, to make him somewhat more tanky on the... Oh, not Sketch, Dragoon, what am I saying? God, yes. Hey, Camille ADC, make it happen. That'd be kind of cool to see. I wouldn't mind. But yeah, no, point being, right, yeah, not lacking the tank slightly, but still, a very nice balanced team comp. Same from Maryville as well. They're like, okay, that full kind of damage comp we went for the first time around didn't work out so well. Let's stop trolling. Let's get into this thing and let's do it right. And now this is definitely looking all right. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So now we see the Pantheon going into that top lane onto the Niles. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays this into Dragoon's Camille.
And the thing I like about this from both teams a little bit more is that, like, Fear has drafted some damage, or at least Maryville's draft, I think I like him a lot more, is that without a true tank, it is easier to not have to have consistent damage, especially on the current patch. If you have a frontliner, you basically need something that can carry through, whether it's consistent damage ADC or something else that's got consistent damage like Cassiopeia. But in a team like this, where you have a bunch of squishy members or squishier type members that don't have the same kind of resistance, single target damage works well. So you got like Q on Victor, you got auto attacks coming through from the Jhin, even the Pantheon's got some solid single target damage, and it means that you can bring them down piece by piece over the course of the fight. So in terms of team fighting, I don't mind it. It does reduce your objective control a little bit because it's harder to rip it down without that super consistent damage like a Jinx might bring or a Vayne might bring compared to a Jhin. But that's kind of small peanuts compared to, usually I have complaints because there's an Ornn sitting in front. It's like, how do you kill the Ornn? You don't really have that in a game like this. So Maryville, I think, is done a better job drafting this one than what I like from last game.
Yeah, absolutely, right? It's like, going back to form factor, so to speak, and so it is nice to see as we do wait to get onto the Rift. Dude, okay, this got me. I just noticed, like, why is there a double Nami? What's going on, man? What's going on, dude? Oh my god, yeah, but that, okay, it should be just, there we go. Love to see. Yeah, the Ahri in the mid lane, though, is going to be nice to see a bit more consistent damage coming out. And we did see some very nice Ahri performances in our first series as well. Going to be interesting to see if Blaze can pick it up and maybe just stomp Appa, being like, yo, you take my Victor, I take your life, I take your team, I take everything.
I do expect also Auto Orange to be more active. On the Lilia, it felt like he really wasn't interacting with his lanes all that much, which isn't typical of Auto Orange, and I kind of want to see him attack for his lanes a lot more in this one, especially because bottom lane you've got good setup. Pantheon is amazing setup for being able to get that, and if you unlock Niles and you shut down Dragoon, all of a sudden you get a Pantheon jumping into lanes alongside Wukong, and then you've got gank setup to be able to get your damage dealers in the place they need. Not to mention, if you salvage early game, Lucian Nami gets shut out. They're a little bit quieter as the game goes on. They're still powerful, but a lot quieter. And if the Ahri is shut out at the beginning of the game, then she has a harder time really getting to a place where she can tear through Victor. She can assassinate Jhin, especially with Karma behind them. So if Auto Orange, I think, really can be an engine in this one for Maryville's successes, quite a bit more than what happened in the last game.
Yeah, just looking at the team comp in general, like, there's just so much CC that's going to be able to perfectly kind of flow into each other, right? You get hit with the Cyclone, Niles jumps on top of you, you're in the gravity field from Appa, next thing you know, you're in the gray screen, and it's like, I couldn't even move. I got the 16-year CC timer. Like, what was I going to do, bro? Like, I can't move.
That's true. Now, on the side of Fear, of course, like, they have really great ways of attacking you out of Fog of War, because you got like Hook Shot coming at you, you got Charm coming at you, you got Fears coming at you. You got a number of ways that you can really take advantage of lapses of vision. And so I'm expecting if Fear can take advantage of the early game, they're going to do some really great things.
All right, well, let's see then if Fear can also take game number 2, because if they do, then they grab themselves the first dub of tonight. Well, not the first dub of tonight, their first dub of tonight, I should say. And with that being said, we're on the Rift, ladies and gentlemen, for what is possibly the last game for today. And already, once again, chill 5-man setup, no real shenanigans going down.
Nothing crazy to start with. Although, again, I do love supports that understand what they have to do to get lane priority is get themselves down into that mid brush in the bottom side, get the ward down early as fast as they can. If they don't see a response early on, it's possible they're able to clean it up. Looks like Zyko hasn't really changed all that much, hasn't gone for the red ward to be able to sweep that out. So if they double plant, then it's not going to mean all that much. But the reason why it's so important for Sketch and Plux to be able to take this is if they get the early level 1 trade with Electrocute, they take a lot more control of the lane than they would normally have. So Azog and Zyko have to be a little cautious about that. I wonder if Zyko is going to be able to sniff that out here, put that ward down, make sure Plux doesn't get advanced positioning in the lane to try to hit an early bubble, set up Sketch for a press the attack, or like we said, maybe go for an Electrocute proc to start things off.
Yeah, also nice to see Azog realizing that he's not going to be this mobile, skipping around champ that he was last time, grabbing the cleanse. And we're also seeing the cleanse coming out from Sketch. So overall, it's going to be very interesting to see how they end up piloting around that bot lane, not even opting with the leash. Going to let Odd, just grab himself that red buff, head onto this bot lane. And already, Blaze looking to start things off here.
This is the second game in a row now. We've also seen this from Dragoon, where normally you can kind of like, I call him like, gooning, basically, where you run into the opposing jungle, and if they're taking topside camp, if you've got a champion with some mobility, you just mess with them. You like auto them, and you just mess up their camp, and then you leave. You do it on you can do it on Gwen, you can do it on Camille, and it seems like Dragoon has wanted to do that, but nobody's been there. So he's dropped these wards for information 2 games in a row now, which are humongous for tracking the early pathing. He's going to see the Wukong coming from a decent distance away, whether he goes to the blue buff or whether he goes to the Gromp for level 3 quickly to try to abuse this early advantage that Niles is going to have over top of the Camille. So if they can get this going again, it's the faster that the Pantheon can start deploying the rest of the map and starts using this early CC to help salvage some of the early game that'll come out.
Yeah, absolutely. We see some of that deep vision is paying off right about now. Yes. Odd Orange is being spotted out. Yep, we see the pings coming down already. And so now the side of Cincinnati Fear can path accordingly. Also interesting to notice that no side switch occurred this time around. Maryville still opting to stay on the blue side while Cincinnati Fear is feeling comfortable. They're feeling pretty in red right now. Oh, the charm going a little bit long there. And so Abba should be able to just walk back under turret there. Did double back real quick, so it does take a lot of damage, but he's going to get out safely.
Doesn't have to burn any summoners here, and that's APA being able to put on the blue suede shoes to get out of a pretty rough situation as Trickster gets aggressive to begin with as the Lilia. Ooh! Oh!
Ooh! Okay. A lot of damage coming out. Azog pretty low at the moment. Needs to be careful. Has that crit saved up, but just can't walk up. Excuse me, voice crack. Let's go. Doesn't want to get hit by the bubble there. And already,
I love this.
Oh, Niles is he's a menace, bro. He does not care, bro. He's just pushing Trickster out of his own jungle, drops the ward, gets out of there.
I think Trickster was anticipating a potential move in by Trickster to counter gank Odd Orange. Wasn't anticipating that Odd Orange is going to be here. He's going to find an E, just going to steal away some of the Krugs, but now it's a 2v2.
Oh, the shield vault. Dropping over onto Trickster here. The hook shot comes down, but you might have bit off more than you can chew here. Blaze is there as well to lend some assistance to the rest of the gang here, and first blood goes into the hands of Trickster. Can they get the second winner? Odd Orange gonna go ahead and hit that blast cone, but Trickster's hot on his tail. Appa is there as well to back his boy up. Gonna use that clone to get out of there. Dodges the Doling Ball successfully, and a flash to escape the hook shot. So they'll at least get the flash out from Odd Orange.
And you see some of the ramifications from that mid lane going poorly. Oh, Azog gets backstopped right there.
Yeah.
Not much punishment to come through from the W. Coming out! Sketch!
Yep. Oh, dude, Sketch! So close, but that shield coming out from Zyko coming in clutch is going to keep Azog alive just barely. Dangerously close there from Sketch killing him.
Absolutely. The shield's down from Zyko, so Azog has to stay very far back, because all it takes is a flashing knife from Pluck and a flash auto attack from Sketch to really bring him down. They have to be a little bit careful here. They want to shove in this wave, and then Azog wants to catch it.
Oh, the deadly flourish doesn't quite find the kill. Can't get a bouncing grenade to get onto Plux as well. Odd Orange, dude, he smells the kills, but he just can't really move in there. Knows that Sketch is going to get out. The deadly flourish, oh my god, twice in a row it hits Rebel, and it doesn't kill. That is just like, you destroy your keyboard at that point.
Truly. It's a tough situation to find yourself in. And because of all that action that happened on the bottom side, I haven't got a chance to talk about the gank from Trickster into mid lane, pushed back APA enough to where Blaze could be the first one there. Because, like, obviously, like, Ahri has decent wave clear, but usually not enough to just get a full push. But since APA had lost most of his health, Blaze got a better push to actually help support the top side play that was read from the ward that was put down by Dragoon. The chaining of information, the communication from the Cincinnati Fear team, again, trickling over from the last split when 3 of them were together, obviously paying dividends very heavily, because again, that's not stuff that every single team is going to be able to pull off the majority of the time. It's chaining that mid gank into the defense of the top side off the information that was collected from a single ward and the positioning of Odd Orange from earlier in the game.
Absolutely beautiful place to see Zyko to get hit with the bubble, but he's going to really find an opportunity there. Once again, the charm does connect onto Appa. Blaze doing a lot of damage, and Trickster isn't quite level 6 just yet. Doesn't have that lullaby ready, so he's going to bide his time, see if he can find anything. Odd Orange, a clear bit of vision here, and Appa might have stepped too far forward. If the charm connects, it won't indeed, because Appa is going to hit the flash, dodges the bowling ball, and the Chaos Storm does get dropped, but he'll be able to walk out safely.
Biggest thing is I think the ultimate was used not only as a deterrent for Blaze, because it dropped his health pretty low, but also was a decent amount of wave clear right there to make sure that the wave was gone. There was no chance that he was going to lose anything, even if he did die after the flash was burnt, which was, I think, a solid decision for the APA to make sure that he wasn't going to fall behind Blaze or fall victim to these ganks that have come through. Its pressure has been put on so heavily from Trickster. Last game, we didn't see it all that much on the Nocturne. We really didn't see that much activity from either jungler super early into the game, but in this one, you can see Trickster on this Lilia is making his presence felt in every lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why you're the color, because I wouldn't have even thought of that Chaos Storm play coming out here with the wave management there. But yeah, like you said, right, Trickster really making it known that this is how you impact the map, and no lane is safe from this man. Even if you don't get a kill, it's still so much pressure being applied just from like the fear, like, where is he at, dude? He could literally be anywhere. Like, this man knows no bounds. He's too fast, too quick.
I'm waiting now also, because Trickster has like definitely been more active than Odd Orange in this game at minimum, but also coming into the level 6 mark now for Odd Orange soon enough here could mean quite a bit, because it does mean that like Sunder is going to be finished up, only a couple more camps until the level 6, the Cyclone is hit by the Wukong, and then maybe we can start attacking a couple of places, and big things. Number one, bottom lane hasn't really gotten a massive advantage. Sketch and Plux, despite almost killing Azog and burning the flash earlier, hasn't been able to do anything. As mid lane, you see another gank.
Yep, speaking of kills, though, oh my god, Appa with the footwork will still go down at the end of the day, but dodges so much. Sketch, meanwhile, trap! No, he just barely sidesteps it. It was so incredibly close. Psycho trying to find that kill, but Sketch with the dash to get away. Psycho wants it so badly, but he just can't quite find it. That was so...
Oh, he missed his kill!
No!
Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter. He wouldn't have killed him, but still.
True, but I hate to see it. Azog once again is surviving with like 1 HP to his name, dude. It's crazy. This guy will not die.
Think about last patch. This might have been different last patch unless their village didn't come in.
True, though. Dragoon in this top lane is going to force Niles to pop the flash to escape the hookshot. And look at that. Sketch is back, and Azog is looking pretty tasty right now. Doesn't have a lot of mana. Sketch does need to be careful, though. Now that he didn't get hit by that empowered Q, maybe he can make something happen. But meanwhile, bit of a scuffle in this top river right now. It's going to be a smite fight, perhaps, to get this Rift Terror.
Wow.
The shutdown comes.
Wow.
It will reset, and they're going to go 1 for 1. Odd Orange is still standing, trying to get Dragoon. So much damage coming out. Will find it. That's going to be a double kill going into the hands of Appa, and should be a free Rift Herald.
Oh, that is massive. The reset on the Rift Herald cost them the Rift Herald, which is already bad enough. Now bottom side, another play.
Yeah, it's looking
no
like
shot.
Oh my god, the calling does come out though. Ultimates will betray there. Nothing quite coming out of it. This bot lane is so incredibly volatile, dude. It's just like they're trading like the 1% of their life essence back and forth, and they're playing chicken with each other. Like, who's gonna go recall first, dude?
Hey, that's exactly what it is. They've been playing wave chicken for like 5 minutes here. It's been wild. That right there was also the most ballsy use of a Jhin ultimate, just to try to bait out something, and he did end up getting the calling coming out from Sketch, and was able to avoid it because he's got Swifties already in a game like this. And this is to avoid the topside play, because the topside play is a massive shift for a couple reasons for Maryville. First off, again, the reset coming through prevented Cincinnati Fear. They had it down to like 300 health or something like that, and that would have been a big boon, because they could have at least used it to get a couple plays might salvage this play to some extent. Here's the big one. Auto Orange focuses down the jungler so they don't have a smite secure if the time were to come to try to smite secure it. That's pretty big.
Yep.
And the other one, APA picks both kills. We don't care about the Pantheon. The Pantheon can frontline, you can press W, you can press E, that's fine. APA picking up 2 kills does 2 things. Number 1, your Victor's closer on itemization because he gets a bunch of gold. But more importantly, the upgrades, people, upgrades. The E laser, being able to have the better superior wave clear over top of Ahri means harder to gank, easier to have map access with. A lot of really good things just came out of that one from the 2 kills just jumping onto the Victor.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, Niles taking a lot of damage here from Dragoon. Zyko is here, but the hook shot to escape. The Q does connect, but won't quite find it on Orange, though.
He's a wild
He's
shot.
hungry.
Oh,
he wants something. Won't quite find it, though. Did he bite off more than he can chew? The Cyclone does get dropped. A lot of damage coming out. Ignite. Oh, not quite going to find it. So much damage coming out, but they will find the kill onto Dragoon and Trickster. Just barely gonna get out alive. Look at, oh my god, look at that. Azar can't even move up. Rift Herald gets dropped, and so that should be the tier 1 down this top lane. Also, I'm realizing the chat's goofing on me as well a little bit. I may have called APA Appa. I'm sorry. My play-by-play monkey brain, my DK crew brain kind of kicked in there, and I just like, ooh, APA Appa, must say Appa. So yes, I know it is APA. I'm sorry.
It's all right, man. Okay, so he's also known as always plan ahead, but no D at the end. So it's always plan ahead, and then like there's no extra character in case you don't know. So a little bit of history for you, because I know it's your first time, but you're doing fantastic.
Yeah.
In a day like today on this new channel too. Like it's a great introduction for both of you and all the wonderful things to come as we have the tournament. That number's not right, right? Zyko is...
Wait,
that's total damage. I thought that was gold. I'm like, how is Zyko above everybody? This is why... No, okay, total damage in the game. Zyko's been popping off in this one. But slowly, again, 3 kills accrued, a couple of turret plates as well. Trying to fool me, you're not going to get me twice production. It's not going to happen.
Oh my god, yeah, no, ain't gonna happen. That being said, though, Drag is still up for the taking. 12 minutes in, and still no one has opted to grab it yet. Trickster get hit by that Q, nothing quite gonna come out of it, and just maybe we finally get to see them take it, though it's not looking too up. There we go. Okay, they're listening. Yeah. They're listening. They're finally taking care of it. You know, the dragon chore that needs to be completed here. They are going to go ahead and grab it. Shouldn't be contested here by Trickster. Can't really push up there. We see the TP actually coming out from APA into the top lane here to stop the push coming out from Dragoon. But Odd Orange was able to get over that wall. His clone taking up the brunt of most of the damage. And so he lives to fight another day.
Able to prevent Dragoon from getting anything additional. APA having multiple kills now in the early game. It actually kind of feels like a flip of what we saw last game, where like the very early game went to Cincinnati like Maryville did in the previous game, and then slowly it kind of came back with a couple of kills getting flooded in. And here APA has been the major benefactor across all things, because now he catches the wave that's shoved in from Dragoon once, now twice, and gets blue buff in exchange. The dragon on the other side actually went to Maryville as well. And that was also off of your call of saying, like, oh, yeah, they definitely need a dragon. Dragon's still available. So what you need to do is be like, oh, a 5-on-5. Like, we haven't had a 5-on-5. We gotta get one of those in here. Get the teams to follow you nice. Up. Yeah.
Exactly, dude. Like, can we get fight going? That would be amazing. But I have to wait and see. As for objectives right now, 4 minutes on this dragon. The variant ain't going to be up for quite a while. 6 minutes still on the clock. So maybe we finally see something. APA doing a lot of damage here to Dragoon. Hook shot and to get away. And he's looking to just shove this wave. He has that superior wave clear with that laser upgraded like you called earlier. And so overall, just going to shove that, grab that XP, grab that money, and head on back. Grab the shmoney, head on back to base.
It's the best way to play. Always grab that shmoney just as much as possible. Went first strike for exactly that purpose as well. And now with the upgrades coming through, it's going to be easy enough for this Victor to continue to compound into more and more damage as the game goes on. And he's the real fear, because again, when you're talking about a squishy composition like this, even Dragoon at this point with no magic resist feels squishy to this Victor, where if he hits you with a laser and a Q, you're down half your health minimal, right? Like it's just like there's nothing you can really do about it. And with this number of squishy champions, he can opt for penetration. He can go for Ludens, even though some of the durability changes made differences to like Leandry's is better, Ludens isn't quite as good. But with these kind of squishy champions, it doesn't matter. He can still go penetration, still rip through a lot of the resistances and a lot of the health bars very effectively inside of fights.
Yeah, looking to find something here in this mid lane, but nothing really coming out of it, though. Trickster and Blaze slowly moving down. Niles, meanwhile, doing a little bit of training with Dragoon here, using that shield vault to stun him down, lock him down. Let's crack that conqueror. Oh, not quite gonna find anything just yet, though. Yeah, just clearing these waves. Overall, just kind of staring each other down. Just a bit of a face-off, really. Not too much going now.
Yep. Rift Herald is getting set up here by Maryville as they've got their bottom lane in mid. You've got APA and Odd Orange in the jungle as well, or in the river right now, just making sure there is no vision to be pushed in as they're both fighting for mid priority. I don't think anyone's going to grab the Rift Herald here for a second unless a fight kicks off, and I don't anticipate that. Maryville should have first step. If they clear this vision out, it's going to be even harder. Fear is going to have to take a lot more steps. They actually might even use this as a way to go to fight. Ooh, 5-on-5. There's no TP, unfortunately, from either top lane. So it's a 4-on-4 maybe, but it doesn't look like Fear really wants that either. They're instead going to look to go down and punish the Pantheon, but first off, that's not going to work because he's already gone. And two, all it's really doing is actually setting up Dragoon. He's got more than enough pressure from the rest of his team to just capture that bottom tower in exchange for the Rift Herald to come through.
Yeah, absolutely. Odd Orange, boom, gonna grab that, put it in the pocket. We see the APA still pushing this top wave down. Yeah, that top turret is looking juicy, incredibly low. There he goes. He's got the squad, the minion gang, and yeah, that total gold, he's looking to just increase the gap even further. Right now, only about 600 gold up on Blaze, but that's definitely still something. And there we go, gonna grab that in. Oh my God, just like that. Absolutely huge, but TP coming out. I don't know if the recall timer is gonna be short enough. Blaze. Oh, it's gonna be close. Oh no, he wasn't able to get one. He does get one. No, he will get one kill. The Chaos Storm does get dropped. He's gonna buy himself some time. A lot of damage coming out though. APA will fall. Goes at least 1-for-1, and that is TP out as well. And so there we go. We see Maryville. They're like, okay, they're all top. Let's go ahead, drop this Rift Herald down. Boom, get themselves that tier 1 in the bot lane, and are going to look to just keep on shoving.
And do they get the shutdown play? Absolutely. They traded 1-for-1 and ultimately use a more valuable kill going onto Blaze in the mid lane, getting it on the Ahri. But this is the first time that Maryville, I think, has traded really positively when it comes to map pressure. Because in the bottom tower, they get a charge on the bottom inner tower, and they're able to use it off the back of that play that they had used to punish this in the top side. Okay, so you see this. He knows once he steps out of this bush that he's not walked to the left. There's one place he could be because they had minions, they were gone. Unless he stepped into Flux, they had no idea where he was going to be. So then, APA just makes the decision. He says, okay, I have to nuke somebody. Here, I love the Q from Blaze because it was perfectly positioned so that when he uses the last, kind of proc of his ultimate, it was going to reposition. So even against the wall, there was no way that APA dodges it. Didn't give him a second Q to potentially get a shield and turn that fight also. Instead, just going for the 1-for-1 with, 300 extra gold going into the pocket of Blaze, which 100% is worth it if a tower on the other side doesn't fall as well.
Absolutely. Overall, definitely quite happy with that play. Odd Orange, though, with the Cyclone, looking to go in here. Try to find anything, though. Not quite going to find much. Odd Orange was put to sleep. Niles Mira in that top lane almost finds a kill. It's just trading health-wise left and right. They finally find the first kill on Dragoon. The curtain call was indeed channeled. And so close. Won't quite get Trickster. And overall, a huge scuffle like that, but really only going 1-for-1 here.
Yeah, top laner for top laner were both sides. And I think ultimately it ended up being Niles who ended up getting more done because Dragoon had a lot better chance of getting something done.
Charm followed up by the tidal wave though, but Trickster gets taken out. Not so much damage though, and down goes Flux as well. Blaze will be the last man standing as he has to run off in defeat as he sees the rest of his team be just absolutely demolished.
And that was a really strange decision to go always on Skip and Blaze.
Oh no! No!
I don't know if he saw him. I think Blaze was trying to play with vision. I really am curious if he actually saw him right there, because otherwise he had to have this moment of panic where he's like, just these absolute moment of clarity where he's like, I'm done, and I'm walking backwards. So this is a fight. Watch Dragoon versus Niles here, because Niles gets into backline, pushes back Sketch, pushes back Flux, almost gets a pick actually on that side, and Dragoon does the same thing. Both top laners put it in a crazy amount of work inside of a fight like this to basically die and eventually not get much done. But notice the health bars. Trickster's almost dead. That's Lucian almost dead. And Plux is almost dead. Trickster stays for the remainder of the fight afterwards. And the dragon fight, that was where things were confusing because Sketch hadn't returned yet from base to really actually be there for the fight. So they had 2 half-health members and 1 full health member. They didn't really get anything, so it was a little confusing of a call after that fight to go for any more, which just gives more gold, especially into the pockets of ABA.
Yeah, oh my god, the squad is coming to take out Trickster, though. He needs to dip, drops the bowling ball down for the slow, and so not quite going to find anything there. And now you've got this 3-man just chilling in the jungle here. Trickster can't even enter his own jungle, even if he wanted to. Dragoon vibe in there as well, looking to hold on to this tier 2 for dear life. As you can see, Sketch and Clux, meanwhile, in that mid lane, slowly but surely pushing that down. Azog, though, is here with the rest of the game. The hook shot, though, so won't get stunned out in a terrible position there by Niles and lives to fight another day.
Yeah, and the attempted push in mid lane is thwarted by APA, who's able to just throw that out. And that means that it's bottom inner for what looks like top outer, which, again, in terms of gold value, is definitely beneficial for Maryville. They do split it between a couple members, but I don't think it ultimately matters all that much, as long as most of it goes to Azog and Niles. The two members there are able to get, I think, the bulk of it. I don't think it was split between anyone else. And APA got to catch a wave crash in mid lane, maybe two waves crash in mid lane. He was able to catch the top lane wave as well. And so APA is feeling fine about everything that's happening on the other side of the map. They're waiting for plays, both on bated breaths, for each other to show up. Oh god, okay, dash over the wall, the tidal wave as well. We see the gravity failure get dropped, though the charm does land, and that should be what they need, but Odd Oranges is here as well, and so that is going to scare off Blaze. Is going to go ahead and back up. Sketch was there as well. Azog is here, the rest of the squad pulls up, and so almost, the assassination attempt almost ends up working out, but not going to be fruitful. Man, the two mid laners are also making quite a bit of a name for themselves here, because Blaze has 2 kills, is one of the highest gold members on the team outside of APA, who's on the other side of that. And were it not for all the towers that have gone down in the presence of APA, probably would be about even in that regard. You can see it's only about 1,000 gold lead that he has over Blaze, which again mostly is attributed to any tower plates and any towers that he's brought down on his lonesome as this Victor. So the two of them are now in a bit of a clash, just because again the Ari's got a bunch of the pick potential to try to find members of the team, specifically if he can find out APA. That's a huge win for the side of Cincinnati Fear, because otherwise it feels like the Victor can just take over every fight. The Lucian is decently behind in this game and is outranged pretty significantly by most of this team. Looks like Trickster is going less damage and more for tank with some of the items that you can see in his inventory right now, so it's unlikely he's doing much, and Dragoon is decently behind in the game too. So it feels like this is APA versus Blaze at this point, and it's really exciting because these two were really influential in the previous game as well. Blaze with that pentakill, or getting game number 2 of it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, a Blaze pentakill V2, that'd be crazy. If he gets back-to-back pentakill, dude, that would be insane. But we'll have to wait and see. It's crazy, though, the gold difference, right? APA, it's APA versus the world right now, it almost feels like, right? It's like all his members on his team are, like, super far down, while you had the 3-man from Cincinnati Fear in between them, kind of like sandwiching them, it feels almost like. And APA is just leading that charge. He's got that Spear wave clear. We do see the calling coming out from Sketch, trying to find anything on Azog here. It's going to get him somewhat low, but won't quite find anything. Curtain Call does get dropped, though. The flash coming out from Sketch to escape, and so the 3-man body block should keep him alive. But look at that from the back line. Huge cycle coming out, and they grab 3, they grab 4. They do not care, and just like that, they spit on their corpses and move to the barrier.
This was, to me, a massive read from Maryville. Look at top wave. Top wave is shoved in. No one's responding to it. Bot wave, only just now getting caught by Dragoon. They were like, where are they on this map? Where in the world are they on this map? Nobody's in top, nobody's in bottom. Where is this team? They're all in mid lane. They're covering for Sketch to allow Sketch to try to make something happen against Azog. They can't. And he sets up this Jhin ultimate, which allows for this huge flank from Odd Orange, allows for this huge flank from Zyko, who's got the Shirelli, has got the shielding to put him into position with this Cyclone, as well as the Roam coming out from the Pantheon to be able to full in. But again, this to me was map reading. This was just Maryville understanding the information that was presented to them. And that's going to set them up on a huge advantage now. 5k, 6k gold advantage just about. They still have this massive Victor, but everybody else just picked out a really good amount of gold as well. They're almost on 3rd Dragon, which would put them on Soul Point. That would give them complete command over the course of the rest of this game for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be absolutely huge if they can grab themselves this drag. Trickster needs to land some kind of a 3-man sleep here. Now, Zyko taken considerably low here. Actually, APA is like, man, screw the dragon. I want these kills, bro. He's looking to find Blaze, doing a little bit of damage here as the dragon gets lower and lower. But oh my god, the tidal wave comes through. Trickster, though, bit on more than he gets. You has to smite early to make sure that he stays alive. And the dragon is going to go down to the hands of Maryville. And with that, let's see if they want to proceed further. It's looking like they do. Oh my god! Just gets absolutely deleted. Trickster next up to follow. There he goes. Goodbye. Can we get a 3-man? Never mind, though. The culling and Q, too much damage coming out from Blaze. And meanwhile, in this bot jungle, Azog, 1v1ing Dragoon here, Niles as well. They're trying to get over there to help his buddy. They can't quite find anything. Curtain Call does get dropped, but not quite gonna find anything there, unfortunately.
But they are going to see him, and I don't think he has a way out. So I think, unfortunately, he will go down.
Okay. Hook shots over that wall. That is going to escape. Dude, they want him. They want him so bad. The chain's gonna... No way! They actually get him. Dude, Zyko did not come to play. He came to dominate.
He really did. And now you can see yet another fight. This time, Trickster really tried to make the hero play. He only got 2 people with the sleep, which is really unfortunate. If he hits 3-4 people, maybe this play actually works out. But unfortunately, not able to get enough to make it worth. Like you said, smiting early to make sure that was going to go down means he sacrifices. And again, the Shirelius, Zyko, getting his team into position to continue. APA wanted more. If it weren't for the amazing charm from Blaze, the shutdown from Sketch onto that, I feel like that game, it might have been a whole inhibitor that they would have lost right there off the back of that play just on its lonesome. 6K gold lead. You can see it's only been in the last couple of minutes, maybe last 5 minutes, that this massive gold lead has really accrued as Maryville has started putting the pieces of this game together. They're now 3 minutes from a Hex Tech Soul. They are seconds away from Blaze going down.
Oh no, Blaze! No for him to go. Oh my god, he might just get. He might get out of it.
He
almost gets a kill as well. That was actually smooth. The footwork coming out from Blaze. He's like, no, I will not be going down, good sir.
Has to burn the flash and the ultimate to get out, but yeah, you're 100% right. At least doesn't give over the kill. But at minimum, Maryville is getting what they want. They have top side control, top push as well for the wave. They're going to look to pick off Sketch because Pantheon now has the wraparound on him. He's going to be forced into top side jungle, but they've got that control. Sketch is going to take this and probably die as a result.
Yep, he's away. The calling coming out as well. On Orange is hot in pursuit, and so is Azog as well. Sketch nowhere to go, going over the wall. And dude, Prodcam is like, no, you don't want to see this match because like it was too nasty. We couldn't show it on here. That's like an 18+ stream. Sorry, bro.
Yeah. APA also catches the wave high, which means that the wave is able to essentially just walk right up to mid inner tower as much as they can. They can also push bot if they really wanted to look to like siege in multiple areas with 2 members off the map here. Fear really can't do anything about it. And note also, if you will, top lane is a little bit pushed out for themselves. It should stay right about that position, but it's sufficient for them to be able to capture topside control if they want to go for a Baron at some point as well. When the second one of the game spawns, if they want to try that before they go to Dragon, or maybe trade it off for Dragon to continue pushing for this game win.
Yeah, definitely. APA in the top lane, looking to just shove it out again. Just doing APA things. We've been seeing him do this all a game. Gonna go ahead and hit the back here. Yeah, it's just APA things, man. Just pushing these waves, grabbing the shmoney, bro, getting the items. And oh yeah, we get to see the replay actually. Oh my, what?
Just erased him out of more blocks. Has gotta feel terrible.
Oh my god, that felt illegal, dude. Like, Jesus.
It really did. And a number of situations now that, like, last game, Cincinnati Fear had a couple of waves back into the game, even if they were behind in this circumstance. They ended up climbing back in. Dragoon has been doing quite a bit, but he got shut out. The Pantheon pick prevented the lane from going wild. Flux is just getting one down.
Oh my god, APA is a... come on, dude. You can't hit him with that,
he's flexing a little bit. You gotta appreciate the flex. Last game, he was quiet, right? The Lucian was quiet. This game, he's got 12 kills. He doesn't have to be quiet anymore.
Yeah, no, he's all stops are being pulled out. He's feeling himself right now on Orange, about to check this bush. Does use a clone to back off though, but so much damage coming out the Cyclone onto Dragoon. He's incredibly low, needs to flash so low. APA trying to find the laser, finds it indeed, takes him out. Trickster running for his life, gets that slow, so we'll be able to get out there safely. And meanwhile, look at that back coming out from the sketch. He's like, please don't check the bush, please.
Fortunately, they don't, because again, they're more focused on making sure that the top wave is going to end up further up the lane. They're making sure that the mid wave is going to do the exact same thing. They got set up for topside again. Baron spawning here at only about 50 seconds. Dragon's going to be spawning here at about 35 seconds. They've got set up for both right now, as pushed in basically to their base is Cincinnati Fear. Gold values, you can see Blaze is still up there. You can see Sketch is still competitive, but the gold has slowly trickled into the pockets of Maryville. As you can see, this 3,000 gold advantage just in the mid lane, let alone over anybody else in the game. The 20 stack Magi's. Ridiculous for what is currently being held by APA right now. He rips through. And again, look for magic resist. What do you see? I see 1 in the inventory of Lilia. I see none for the Camille. And I see none for the new. Nobody's got me.
Yeah, and speaking of that, it's all coming to fruition right now. APA picking up 1. Are going to pick up the kill on Sketch as well with the ultimate coming out from Niles. They are going to just run down Blaze. No pentakill for you. And Flux. APA, please!
No!
No! He's giving him the sidestep to the left.
He tried to
take him back, and he just takes him out, dude. That was...
See, okay, we've gone from flexing to, like, I don't even know how to call it from that point. Yeah, just disrespect at that point. And, like, multiple people jump onto APA. I feel like APA wins that no matter what. You can see 2 people got burst before the fight even started. Yeah. Anything else. Blaze got shoved off to the side. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get out and flex. We saw the result of that one. 4 members going down here. Fear, not able to really get anything. Again, it was slowly the victor getting the gold trickled in. They played around the victor extremely well in a game like this, and it is now set up for effectively a game 3 where Cincinnati Fear, they're out of this one. The Baron, the Hextech Soul, everything goes to the side of Maryville, and we have to wonder their side selection for this game. I believe Maryville had side selection game 1 for a coin flip win, and game 2 they were the losers, so obviously they got the pick as well.
Yep. Oh my God. Niles, though, maybe they catch him out here, trying his best to stay alive, but can't quite do it. Did buy his team plenty of time, though, that they will get that Baron uncontested, but it does go down.
And now it's a question of what happens in game number 3. This goes the whole distance. We knew these two teams were some of the most competitive in the entire tournament, and for good reason. I'm not trying to close the door on this one before the Nexus is over, but it feels incredibly hard. Bottom inhibitor's already down. You got Baron buff, and you've got Hextech Soul, and as well as a 5-item Rabadon's full stack Magi's Victor. He will one-shot anyone on this team. Again, the only lick of magic resist that exists is Trickster. Anybody's getting one shot by this guy. All they have to do is walk him into the right place. And you can see him going to top lane right now to do exactly that. So coming into game number 3, expectations a little bit different. I think that Trickster was active, and I liked seeing the activity from Trickster at the beginning of the game, but bot lane wasn't able to recover, wasn't able to push the advantage. It's very interesting to see the differences now that we've gotten both teams with a win.
Yeah, definitely, right? I really did like Trickster's movement, right? It was like we saw, what, like 3 ganks in like 6 minutes? It was absolutely insane. Really making the pressure being felt everywhere on the map. And that's exactly what you love to see for your jungler to do, right? Really just applying all this pressure. Wasn't quite able to really turn it into anything, so to speak. So definitely something they're going to have to work on there, but it really isn't over till it's over. But look at that. They have no vision. They literally have to walk into the dark, and the monsters are waiting for them. Niles and Zyko, they're there, and APA is here, and he's about to take some names. Gets one. Does get stunned, though. Is drowsy. Maybe this is what no. Grabs 3, baby. APA just takes him out, taking out the trash like it's nothing right now, and it's all up to Sketch to hold the line here. First inhibitor down. Dude, APA is about to try and chase him. I think he's actively hunting for Sketch right now. That is the point that we've reached. Both turrets.
Oh, no way. He saw him on the wave and he's TPing to it. Oh, this is so disgusting.
Please.
Oh, they're
doing
it. Oh, no.
No, don't do it to him. Sketch, run. Just get out of
Sketch,
there.
run.
No, Sketch, run.
No,
Sketch, please. No. Sketch will go down. Give me an A, Rebel.
A?
Give me a P.
E?
And give me an A. What does that spell?
A. A-P-A.
That's right, because APA was an absolute menace this time around. Yeah, A. P. A.
Incredible stuff. Again, both mid laners having phenomenal games inside of the bounds of just this series alone. And we get into such an interesting concept now where, again, to Cincinnati Fear, they had a decent early game. They kind of fell to pieces. APA was able to pick up the pieces from some of the ganks that Trickster put on him in the early game. And again, that gold makes such a difference. It shuts out Blaze's impact in the game, got him really strong. And when you're playing against that much squishy target, like APA was just feasting the entirety of the game. Necessarily, too. Maryville definitely needed him to step up in a game, and he absolutely did that as one of the newer members, like I added again just earlier this year. So walking into game 3, it's a tough one. Cincinnati Fear's got to figure out whether blue side was necessary, whether they want to keep all the counter picks coming into the red side, and what's going to come out here.
Yeah, absolutely. And completely different team it feels like that we saw this time around in comparison to game number 1. This time around, Maryville really pulling out all the stops, right? They draft themselves a coherent and like back to form factor team, and they perform accordingly. They perform incredibly well, grab themselves this win. This is setting up something crazy for game 3, bro. It's like it's gonna be absolutely crazy, and there's really only one way to get to there sooner, and that's to throw it to a quick break as we get ready for draft for game number 3. Don't go anywhere.